Welcome everyone to Awesome Truth, a wrestling book club. I'm your host, Steve Cimino, and with me as always is my co-host, Walt Schwenk. Hey, Walters.
Hello, Steven. How's it going?
My friend, it is going very well. We are back on Awesome Truth, and today, Walt, we are doing a watch-along. We are actually watching along with a match that we talk about maybe more than any other in a weird way. Not every week and not in every context, of course, but a pay-per-view I was at, a pay-per-view that took place in Philadelphia, and a main event that I would say is one of the most popular, most regarded WWE main events of the 90s. Of course, I'm referring to In Your House 10 Mind Games, which took place in September 1996, and that main event is Shawn Michaels versus Mankind.
I actually am upset with myself. We're speculating and thinking about what were some memorable September matches, and I had to go to the internet to consult a list, only to remember that this was a September pay-per-view match, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, we have to do this.
It is crazy. We've almost done 200 episodes, and yeah, we've never even really thought about this. And we do try and theme them, obviously, to events going on, wrestlers, months, etc. But it is weird that we, certainly last September, we were doing watch-alongs, and we did not do Mind Games. So I'm happy we're finally knocking it out.
Well, it's tough because there's also like old OG War Games in September, yes, and now Grand Slam's a thing. So we've covered that, and you know, these In Your Houses kind of get left in the crevices of history, wrestling history, for better or for worse. Mostly better. So this one snuck up on me.
Yeah, but was this listed as the number one September match of all time?
In that one particular Wrestle Inc. or WrestleFest article, I don't even know what the publication was called. Yeah, this was number one, with number two being like the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks cage match from All Out,
which I've never seen, and I would like to do that next September. So let's bookmark that for 12 months from now.
Great, yeah. I'll try and remember that.
One off the list for 2025. We're going to do that match.
Yeah. Sadly, I'll probably just go back to that list in a year and forget we had this conversation.
Well, let's get right to it, Walt, because this is a very long match. So what's the time? Let me pull up the time code on Peacock. If you have to look up In Your House, so it's a little hard to get to, but the time code, luckily, these In Your Houses, I forgot how short they were. Mercifully, for my father, I'm sure, taking me to this show, and because of this card, it's good that it was very short. But the time code for this one is 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 13 seconds. So are you ready, Walt?
Let's do it.
All right, viewers and listeners, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Mind Games. All right. We should be seeing the house now, right? The fabled house and the guys coming out. The executioners. Yes. Okay. And Walt, you reminded me these executioners are coming out with a casket because this pay-per-view sort of weirdly exists to hype the next pay-per-view, which is In Your House Buried Alive, which features Undertaker versus Mankind in a Buried Alive match. And they're promoting it as if it's the main event of this show, but it's not. The main event is obviously Shawn Michaels versus Mankind.
I believe they're called Druids, not Executioners.
Oh, sure, of course, Druids. For Final Fantasy VII, duh, I should know that.
I also have the audio on my end, so...
I'm going to put the captions on right now so I can hear the amazing things that Vince McMahon, Jim Ross, and Mr. Perfect are saying.
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect on commentary... Which was Perfect good on commentary? He feels like he should have been.
He was a tweener, mostly heel-ish commentator. Yeah, I guess he was fine.
JR was the basically the face color guy, and Perfect was the heel color guy.
Correct, and then Vince is Vince.
Yeah, Vince was mostly a face, but really just saying what a maneuver over and over again.
Yeah,
and selling shitty storylines.
Yeah, right.
Well, there's Paul Bearer, who's obviously with Mankind at this point, and has betrayed The Undertaker and taken his urn.
We're a month removed of that.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's like the hot thing now. That's the Mankind. That's the next step in the Mankind Taker feud, right? Is the Bear turn?
Yeah. That was a big SummerSlam angle.
And there he is, Mick Foley. Getting a title match, which was, I will say, I probably said this on the show before. I'm at this pay-per-view. I'm in the crowd with a Mankind next WWE champion, WWF champion sign.
Wow. You're a few years too early on that. But
and I was 10 years old, almost 11, so that's very young to like Mankind, but I'm happy I did. Yeah, I was really setting myself up for success.
Were you intrigued by his great work rate as a 10-year-old, or?
I think honestly, I thought the mask was just cool, which is I ended up being Mankind for Halloween many times because I own the mask. So I think it's just a great look, you know.
It's true.
Oh, here he comes, your boy, Shawn Michaels.
Did you hear the do?
Is it the do? No, I just saw everyone cheer. Honestly. Okay. Oh, look, it's Jose Lothario in a suit. This card also featured a Jose Lothario match, which is horrifying and shows what we were in for going to this event. But yeah, Jose Lothario beat Jim Cornette in the second match of the night in 56 seconds.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
So Jose Lothario doing double duty in this one, wrestling and coming out in a suit to be Shawn Michaels' manager. I guess to combat Paul Bear. So it's just two fat old guys outside the ring.
Yeah, I guess.
Here comes the pyro. Look at HBK's pyro.
We're about 6 months into the Jose Lothario.
Why did they think Michaels needs a manager? Like, what was that? What was the idea there, do you think?
I guess it made him endearing that his old mentor was there.
I guess. I mean, Vince gets in. I mean, it's like he gets with like stables, or like Vince got with all this stuff. He might have just been in the manager mood. You know, everybody needs a manager, and so Bear is obviously there no matter what. But then Lothario is there, and like Sonny was around at that point. So like, I guess there was just like it was just manager time. Cornette obviously was big around then. Uncle Zebekiah was also a manager at this point. Clarence Mason. This really is a manager. At Marlena, there's so many managers. Everybody has a manager on this card.
Here's the problem, though. Jose Lothario is like not a good manager, though.
He's not a mouthpiece or anything like. He's just an old man, an old wrestler man.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
He is just a guy. They could just got another like small Hispanic man and said he was Jose Lothario. Like no one knows who that is. He has no resonance with the fans, and he doesn't have like he doesn't have mic skills. Like he has a history that no one is really aware of, besides them telling us that he's important. You know.
Right. Well, I guess in the lead up to WrestleMania 12 that year, he was seen training Shawn, so we really hit it on the head that he was like. Yeah, his mentor.
But they could have just sent him home after that, right? That could have just been it.
I mean, this is kind of maybe like Vince has never seen Rocky, so like someone pitched him that like this Mickey type character.
Yeah, but obviously we all know Mickey was portrayed by Burgess Meredith, a fantastic actor, and not random old man who is not good at any real who is not doesn't have any juice to him. He's just a guy.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Anyway. Who knows? This is not the best period in WWF/WWE history. So
Shawn Michaels though looks like $1 million.
He does look great. I mean, once he takes his ridiculous attire off, like the hat and the earrings and the weird shiny vest, he looks great.
Yeah.
And Foley looks like he looks every day of his life.
Yeah, Foley looks about the same. Yeah. Man, this truly was. I've brought this up in previous episodes, but like the lead up to this really did have me sold as like a viable threat. Like it was all like pray for Shawn if he survives, pray for him if he doesn't, or just like was
that a Foley line in an interview or?
Well, it's like they sold the idea of like this unstoppable force like is coming and he's super scary and. Will Shawn Michaels survive this encounter? And I'm like, oh my God, will he?
So is the idea that did Mankind win at SummerSlam? So that sort of got him a title match? Is that sort of loosely what happened?
Yeah, I mean, he was undefeated up until this point.
Oh, he was? Okay, so they sold him that way too. So like, because in my head, I didn't realize that the Taker feud had already started. Because I was like, I thought, the story with Mankind is always, that Vince didn't know what to do with him. And that was, I guess, true to it. Like, I'm not saying he always knew what to do with him, but obviously it's 1996, way before his heyday, and he's getting a title match, and he's in a feud with Taker. So, like, obviously, whether Vince knew what to do with him or not, he was a top 5 guy already at this point.
Yeah. Well, he was, like, undefeated against Taker at this point.
Yeah, like, so he was getting wins over their best guy, arguably.
Right, exactly.
So, like, yeah, it's a little bit of a mistaken narrative, like maybe the day Vince hired him he didn't know what to do with him, but 6 months later the guy's doing tons of stuff. So
well, I mean, like the fact that he starts the day after WrestleMania 12, I believe, and starts feuding with Taker's kind of in a rocket up his ass.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, this is just like obviously Vince liked Foley pretty early on. So just didn't realize the timeline there. It's always been something which I think it's a narrative that I feel like the nostalgia podcast sort of pushed to a certain extent. It's like, with Foley, this Foley guy comes out of nowhere, and it's like, I guess like kind of, but not really.
Yeah, I mean,
he's tuning up the band already. The match is over. Wow. Can't believe we like it so much. Oh, he's so smart. Foley jumping out of the ring to get away from the super kick is great.
Yeah. It is kind of fun to see these two wrestle because like Foley's considered a great worker, Michaels is considered a great worker, but like I truly didn't know.
Do they ever wrestle again? Probably not, right? Was there dude love overlap with Michaels at all? I don't really.
Sure, they wrestled again at some point,
or like we're in the ring together or something. But like they certainly never have a match that's this high profile.
No, they definitely didn't main event again.
I feel like Michaels and Dude Love have interacted at some point. That feels like a thing that happened.
Well, if you remember, the next year,
I knew you were gonna have an answer to that. So.
Dude Love comes out to support to help Stone Cold wrestle, like I think it was like Bulldog and Owen, because Michaels like was out or forfeited the like there's a whole
during that tag champ run, or just unrelated to that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
During the like Michaels and Austin were tag champs, and then like something happened where Michaels just didn't show up, and like Austin was gonna go wrestle them themselves, and Mankind kept begging him to be his partner, and then he comes out as Dude Love, which understandably was inspired by Shawn Michaels to some degree. Or
sure, that maybe that's what I'm remembering. Then it's just like that there was a clear connection between the two, but they might not have been in the ring together. Like it's certainly possible.
Yeah,
which is crazy because this is like you said, this is it's a weird mix. Like it's one of those fun matches that you like sort of. You never forget it happens because it was very high profile and probably the best in your house match ever. But yeah, it's two guys you just don't see, next to each other on a poster ever really again, or like think about as interacting in any notable way. So
right, but these two just like I don't know if it's because they're both great and we're gonna make it work no matter what, but like it just worked really well.
The story was like I know it was like fun promos, but like the story is non-existent, right? It's just like this is Mankind's title shot.
Yeah, I mean,
which is fine. That'll kill a month of TV,
It's a new threat for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
this guy
hot
beat
new
Undertaker
heel
several times. Yeah.
And who did Michaels beat at SummerSlam? Is this Vader?
That was the Vader moonsault, and when he berates Vader in the middle of the ring for like not getting out of the way of.
So that's the end of Vader, basically, as any sort of viable threat.
Right. Yeah, he's never seen the same way after that.
Yeah, because Michaels ruins, which is terrible.
Yeah. Right.
So I should say, while Mankind's setting up this table here, this card, as we mentioned, is very bad. There's 2 Savio Vega matches. He has a free-for-all match, and then he has a strap match with JBL, then Justin Bradshaw, which is terrible, and ends the way every strap match ends. There is the Jose Lothario match. Mark Henry makes his debut and beats Jerry Lawler. There's a final curtain match, Taker and Goldust. And then Owen Hart and the Bulldog, who are managed by Clarence Mason for some reason, beat the heel Smoking Guns for the tag. Maybe the face Smoking Guns. I have no idea. For the tag titles. So
why'd you assume heels?
Because they have Sonny with them. Aren't they bad when they have Sonny?
I don't remember. Sonny might have been good.
But Clarence Mason was also obviously a heel too. So maybe they're the heels. Who knows? It does not matter. But
yeah, right.
It's just a real. It's weird because it's a bad card, but also you look at this and you're like, those are all the guys they had. I guess Sid and Vader are in a dark match, which is weird. But like a lot of those guys are the guys, like Taker, Goldust, Michaels, Mankind, Owen, Bulldog. Like that's their roster. Like so it's like I don't know who else they had to really throw out there.
10-year-old Steve, what was his favorite part of the final curtain match?
I do not recall. I'm sure people were yelling slurs at Goldust, and I probably thought that was funny because I was 10 years old, and I probably thought it was cool that Undertaker did the hand in the air thing while his theme played, would be my guess.
He did the hand in the air?
Well, like the Taker thing, like there's no urn, but he's doing the sort of urn pose, at the end of the match.
Okay, the urn pose.
I just thought the urn pose. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the hand in the air. He's on his knee. Like, the urn pose. He's
still doing the urn pose?
I think Vince is saying at that time, because I just watched it before this started, I believe Vince is like, and Taker misses his urn. He wants the urn back, and will he get it back? And like I said, they mentioned Buried Alive so much. Like during the Goldust match, they're constantly been like Buried Alive, Buried Alive. So they're just telling you that Buried Alive is coming, and it makes it a foregone conclusion that Taker is going to beat Goldust. In case there was any uncertainty about that, I guess it's a final curtain match. That is Goldust's match, right?
But it wasn't for the title.
No, it's Taker. Taker. No one's the champ because Michaels is the champ.
Oh, what about the IC champ?
Oh, that's true. Maybe not. If Goldust is IC champ, the title is not on the line.
Okay.
I forgot that he was IC champ. Very exciting.
Oh.
Well,
are you the figure 4?
I would love to see Taker holding the IC title. That'd be so weird.
You seeing a Michaels figure 4 right now?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and they're doing the rare counting during the figure 4.
Yeah, this is a little atypical seeing the face kind of like work the leg of the heel.
Yeah, is it
I was gonna say, feels like Michaels has like been given 90% of the offense in this match,
which makes sense because just Foley's such a good seller, and just takes punishment so well. So maybe that's just the idea. It's fun to watch Foley just get his ass kicked.
This is a pretty good rehab match for Michaels, and when I say that, I mean like, I feel like people have mixed feelings about this '96 run of his, and he was always so good as from underneath as like a underdog babyface during a lot of this run. And I feel like this kind of like gave him a different light, shined his like his athleticism and his ability to wrestle in a different way that like no other opponent could have really done. Like Bulldog was never going to do this for him, and like Owen was never going to make him look kind of like a badass. Like he kind of looks badass after this match. Yeah,
I think Foley's so good. Like, I mean, Michaels has faced so many, giant heels, weirdly enough, like Sid, Diesel, Vader. Like, there's a laundry list of those guys they threw at him during this stage of his career. But I really don't think those are not, like, I don't look back fondly at any of those matches, really. Like, he's not one of those guys where I want to see him against some big oaf. Like, I want to see him against a guy who would take punishment. Like, I think that really is. And Taker's really good at it, too, but Taker's obviously way more agile than those guys. Like, a big stiff. Michaels could probably get a workable match out of them, but that doesn't mean you're going to have a good time watching it. It just means, like, it's a good Sid match, as opposed to a good Michaels match, which is considerably better.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Like, it's just, but yeah, like Foley is just, Foley is great, but Foley's that weird. Foley's just such a strange, unique guy because he is big, but he's not so big that it becomes you facing an oaf,
Right? Yeah. No, it's still impressive to beat him up, but like, yeah, he's not Undertaker big, And
he can bump with Michaels, he can sell with Michaels, he can flop around. Like, it's just more of an exciting match. Oh, he's stabbing himself with a thing.
Yep.
Wow, just to feel more pain to get stronger.
Yeah, because he's impervious to pain,
and his knee was hurt, and he's got the leg worked. So
yeah,
now he's got leg power again because of the pain.
Yeah, my God.
But yeah, the Michaels babyface run is not great. I mean, it's what we grew up with, so we liked it because we liked Michaels, and it's what was on wrestling. But it is, they didn't have a ton of ideas beyond, it's the Vince babyface playbook at that time and throughout history, really. Just throw him at the next heel,
Yeah, right. I mean, this is a transitional period for the company in many ways already. So
it's just wild that, like, when he gets in, like, the Taker feud and all that, like, it's just so much more starts happening. And DX, obviously, and Brett, like, the next year, so much more starts happening with Michaels. But just during the vanilla babyface thing, like, I mean, it's hard enough to be a vanilla babyface, though Cody's doing a pretty good job of it, I would say. But Cody has enemies of consequence still, Like, it's tough when your enemy is just next man up.
Right. Well, yeah, man, it really was just kind of like.
Well, it was what? It was Sid, Owen, it was Sid, Bulldog, Mankind, Taker, like it's just all those guys, right? Is that pretty much everybody?
The pay-per-view was string after Mania 12 was Diesel, Good Friends, Better Enemies, of course.
Sure.
Then it's Beware of Dog with the double pin. Then it was King of the Ring with Bulldog rematch with a definitive win. Then it was International Incident where Vader pins him clean, which sets up the title match with Vader. It's SummerSlam that he wins with the moonsault. And now you have this match. And then I don't remember who Buried Alive was with.
Oh, let's find out.
I don't think he was on that card, actually.
Yeah, because the main event was obviously the Buried Alive match itself. So Buried Alive did not. No, he faced Goldust in a dark match.
Oh, great.
You can't send the fans home. There were 2 dark matches. One was the Godwins versus the New Rockers, and the other one was Goldust in 13 minutes over. Or Michaels in 30 minutes over Goldust.
I feel like Michaels faced Goldust like on a loop of Raws for a long time in the stretch.
Yeah, but then
who else was there?
But then Sid gets in the picture. So I mean, because Sid beats Vader at Buried Alive to get the Survivor Series match.
And then Sid beats Michaels.
Yeah. So the run is, there's a couple of feuds in there. Like you said, there's a mini Bulldog feud, there's a mini Vader feud, and now there's a month with Mankind. And then Taker's, obviously I was wrong. Taker's not even involved obviously until later. But they do stuff with him, but just like none of those opponents. Vader they obviously thought was going to be a bigger deal, and then everything else just sort of happens.
Well, originally the Sid trilogy was a Vader trilogy, but then didn't quite, because Vader was canceled by
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very boring Michaels, who's fascinating and interesting almost always for reasons good and bad. This is also obviously the era where he's fucking around and quitting and coming back and throwing tantrums. So it's fascinating for that reason. But in terms of character development, it's not. Like you said, he comes out with Jose Lothario. What are you supposed to do with that? It's just so not the Michaels we come to like, or we've come to like at this point either.
Yeah.
But here he is in this match. I feel like this match is him doing all the stuff we love, that he is just really not able to do with a lot of other people. He just seems really invested here in ways that I don't recall him being invested in some of the other matches in this era. Because he can't be. He's not being the white meat babyface in terms of how the match is flowing. Yeah,
he's kind of showing a little bit more of a rougher edge.
He's showing the edge. Yeah, you got it, because he's got it. He's facing this devil named Mankind.
Yeah, which they did kind of. Which again, I keep coming back to the promos for this match,
which I really stuck in your brain that much. That those promos.
That truly lives run free. But. I mean, they set it up, and then you kind of see this execution of Shawn kind of going a little bit harder and deeper into his into his moveset and stuff, and gets a little hardcore, which wasn't something he was known for back then, and no one really was except for Mankind. So
yeah, it's
I liked it.
I mean, it's one of the reasons Mankind, it's like we said, looking at the rest of this card in '96 is just a lot of boring, retreading the same ground with different characters of the last 10 years. Mankind is the one character where he does he's the one guy who sort of portends what's to come in the next year or two,
Yeah,
where it's
true.
Everyone else is kind of just a wrestler. There's not a ton of stuff going on. Goldust is weird. The Goldust is certainly a departure. Maybe he's the other one who sort of has that. But Mankind is definitely edgy and strange and pushes them to a place that that they weren't going just yet. And that's why it's fun to see Michaels doing that. And it's not. They always do. I think about. It's a better version of when the Dungeon of Doom makes Hogan wear black that one time.
Right.
Because he's I got to go to my depths to face Kevin Sullivan or whatever.
Except that was really weird and stupid.
Yeah, that's the cartoon version of this. This is a way better executed version of that.
Yeah.
But Michaels is not showing up wearing anything different he's just wrestling a different match.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's less cartoony.
The one thing I always have pause watching this match, now that we're watching this match again, that gives me pause knowing what I know about Shawn Michaels' history. Every time he takes a bump near or around that casket.
Oh yeah.
I'm very worried about him.
When does that happen?
Royal Rumble '98, I believe.
Okay. Why is there a casket there? Because of Mankind Taker?
No, Shawn Michaels Taker.
Oh, Michaels Taker had the casket match. So at the Rumble in a while, a ways away.
And that's where he fucks his back up for the foreseeable future.
Wow, I forgot that was when it was. Yeah. It's bad. They shouldn't have. I mean, just like Bulldog at the Warrior trap door. Just have wrestling stuff by your wrestling ring.
I mean, Michael's a bumping machine. He's bumping around this casket in this match.
That's true.
He's jumping around. He's taking these crazy bumps.
Still so bad though.
Yeah.
Poor Shawn.
Well, it worked out for him in the end.
It did. Oh, it's got Foley's so good at this too. I don't understand how any of the guys do that. go over the ropes like that and get their head stuck and like have it look so clean. Like, looks like you're gonna break your neck. I don't understand how they
He's
do
a
it.
mandible claw on him.
Yeah, and he got out.
Oh my God.
Whichever wrestler figured that out, like you can go over the ropes and in a certain way, you stick your head in between the two and twist, and like you'll dangle there like you're being hung. It's amazing.
It's also what I know about the ropes now. It's so dangerous.
Because the ropes are not like they're very taut, right?
Yeah.
And they can hurt you, and like they're not. It could break your neck on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mandible claw again.
I wonder. So there's a moment earlier in the match. It looked like Michaels was like pissed off at Mick Foley because he didn't follow him to the ring corner or something. And I wonder how he felt about Mick Foley in general.
I mean, I believe it always sounds like he had a lot of sway in this period, right? So the fact that he's facing him at all, you'd assume it's, he's not opposed to him. But they also don't seem like they'd be best buddies. I don't recall Michaels coming up and have a nice day at time. Do you?
No, not really. Other than the fact that like Mick Foley was one of the few people who like boycotted the company shortly after the Montreal screw job.
Yeah, in service of Brett, obviously.
Yeah, but I wasn't really like I hate Shawn. It's like I like Brett.
And he also I think it was also like that's a fucked up thing to do to your beloved longtime employee and friend.
Mm-hmm.
So which is fair. Obviously now he's working. See, working the hand on Foley makes a lot of sense. Then he can't do the mandible claw, his famous finishing move.
Right.
The leg thing is kind of maybe is he gonna work the hand for the next 13 minutes now?
Yeah, it's so funny how like the heel manager is like arguing with the ref, and all it does is benefit the face cheating.
That's true.
It's like it's kind of backwards in many ways.
Well, it's like that argument people always make when they say Hogan worked heel so much, because Hogan was the same kind of way.
Yeah,
Hogan would always take advantage of that kind of stuff, and like always be up to something, but everyone would cheer like, "Yay, Hulk, do it!" When you do it, it's cool. When everyone else does it, it's mean.
Yeah, opportunistic, I guess would be the right word. But
this is a really good example, especially like thinking that it's 96 too. Like just looking at the In Your House like logo and all that, and remembering how what the company was like back then. The fact they're having this match in this capacity too, like it is very hard hitting. It's one of those, it's a regular match, but they're letting them get away with a lot of stuff, and it's very impressive.
It's kind of like a dynamite match on it for AEW. It's just like the refs, or mostly pay-per-view. They kind of just let things go.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we're not gonna get too involved. This is an important match. Like, whatever the storyline idea is, like we're gonna let a little go because we're gonna let these two guys are real pissed and we're gonna let them hammer it out.
Right.
Which
is
like
good. Letting there be a little bit of PI at the playoff game.
But like you said, though, just the fact that you're comparing it to like the way it is now in 2024 is for 96, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
because that was not what things were like in 96. Things were telegraphed as hell,
Yeah.
But yeah, they're beating the hell out of each other. Foley looks great. Foley can it's so weird to see Foley move too, because he's been his hips have been and then body has been so destroyed for decades now. That seeing in 96, I'm like, man, the guy can like jump around and do stuff. Like he looks like $1 million. He's still fat. He's still a frumpy, man, but he's agile.
Yeah, he looks great for Foley.
And he just did the little slide was so. Why did he do that?
And neck breaker.
Yeah. The little slide added nothing to it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, this is a long match.
Yeah. What'd you say? Is it 26? Let me look up the exact. What's the time? Wikipedia says 26:25. Wow. So that's also insane for that era.
And that's not including the post-match, which I won't.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Wow.
But
I can guess what's going to happen. But
yeah.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Well, you were there. I know you know what happens.
Well, it didn't stick in my memory all these years, 30 years later. So after this match, we were treated to in the arena. Jake the Snake versus Triple H. Farouk with Sonny. So Sonny was with the Guns and Farouk at the same time, which is weird. I guess Sonny was forming like a weird stable at that point.
Yeah.
Farouk beats Mark Marrow and Sid beats Vader.
How many matches were there post?
3 dark matches, all of them 8 to 10 minutes long. So this is a 2-hour show, and then we got another like probably 40 minutes of free wrestling after.
Yeah.
Just so weird.
That's good.
I mean, it's kind of good, I guess. It's good if you want to see Jake the Snake and Farouk.
It's hard to come down, though, after this match to see Farouk and Jake the Snake.
I'd have to ask my dad. I'm 99% sure we left after this match.
It's probably for the best.
Because, I mean, we might have stayed, and like maybe seeing Jake the Snake, my dad probably was pumped to see Jake the Snake, but I can't imagine we stayed through Farouk versus Mark Marrow, you know? I really hope we didn't.
Right, yeah. I mean, like, as much as a fan as you were as a 10-year-old, like, even a 10-year-old has their limits.
It's somewhat discerning, you know? And it's like, you know what? I don't need to see Farouk with this little weird gladiator helmet. That doesn't sound good.
Right. Am I noticing this correctly? Does the Spanish announce team get the blue chairs without the padding, and he just pulled Mr. Perfect's chair with padding?
Did he? I don't know. I didn't even notice that. Is he going to hit him with a chair? Is he getting a chair with padding then?
He just grabbed a bunch of chairs.
Yeah, I saw that, but I'm not sure what I couldn't tell. I thought he was just grabbing chairs willy-nilly. I didn't think about what his logic was. Oh, he's putting him in the casket, or he's trying to. Wow.
Also observing the fact that tape, the Spanish announce table, was moved like a half hour ago, and it's still in position.
Michael's in the casket. Oh, is he sending a message to the Undertaker?
Yeah, why are we doing the casket? That's not how you win the title.
I don't know. It's like Macho trying to pin Yokozuna at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, really bad idea.
The jumping punch thing from Michaels. What do they call that?
No more yesterdays?
Yeah, no more yesterdays.
That's what me and...
Is it no more yesterdays a crossbody, though? Or is it the jumping?
Like flying...
It's the flying like side. He sort of gets horizontal.
You know, I'm going to have to ask friend of the show, Kev Ragone.
Yeah, which one is no more yesterdays?
Yeah.
Have we talked about No More Yesterdays ever on this show in 200 episodes? That's No More Yesterdays, I think of it.
Oh, that?
That's the flying crossbody.
Yeah, but that wasn't his part of his normal repertoire.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And I guess No More Yesterdays is when he's bouncing off the ropes, right?
Yeah.
You're right. It probably is it's sort of like a double axe handle, flying double axe handle, right?
Yeah, it's somewhere between an elbow and a clothesline, and it's not either really, but it has the same effect as both.
And during the Michaels retirement video that aired on Raw or whatever, or like Livewire, during the song they say "No More Yesterdays" and he does that move, and we always called it "No More Yesterdays."
That wasn't the I think the "No More Yesterdays." Oh, that's an iconic spot.
Yeah, that was great because that shit never happened going through a table like that back then.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, yeah, that was a hardcore spot for 1996.
Yeah. I like that it's no DQ because they're like, well, like everyone just sort of got hurt. Like, who would we DQ? You know?
I see Vince in the referee's ear.
Yeah, and Vince is wearing a tux for some reason.
No, it's just his attire for in your house attire.
I was saying Vince wear a tux for Mania. That makes sense, but for in your house mind games.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was great. See, like, because Michael sort of reverses it too, so it's like that's a great like no DQ excuse. You know, it's like Foley did the move, Michaels reversed it. Like, who do you DQ?
Yeah.
Just keep it going. Like everyone's hurt. Let's just keep going.
Oh, this is iconic too.
I don't remember this at all. Oh, damn.
Chair perfectly set up for...
Wow. Did Earl Hebner see that, or was he talking to Paul Bearer again?
Paul Bearer.
Jesus. Paul Bearer is doing horrible. Paul Bearer is really being the Jose Lothario of this match. This is the exact opposite of what should be happening.
That happened so quickly that you don't even realize that...
Michaels with the laziest cover. Hook the leg, Shawn. Oh. Oh, wow. Vader's back for more. Why?
I think Vader was slow to get to the... Because she saw Shawn take his time, and the ref counted so slowly.
So it's a DQ in this?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So Michaels wins by DQ?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, he gets dogs by the ear. Oh, my God. What a shit ending. I had no memory. Is this the Sid turn? Or was that later?
No. Oh, my God. Look at that haymaker he throws. Look at he's going to throw a pie in his face.
So is Sid a good guy at this point?
Yeah.
Why?
He came back as a good guy.
But Sid was a bad... Oh, well, I did remember. So Sid turns later?
Yeah, somewhere before Survivor Series.
Foley's coming back to life. The power of the urn. I have no memory of this ending whatsoever. So wait, is the match still going on? No, the bell's ringing.
The bell's ringing. Yeah.
So he's doing manual claw on Michaels. Michaels is won by DQ. This should set up a second match, right?
You think so?
But they never do another match, as far as we know. Certainly not Mankind versus Shawn Michaels.
This is a pit stop for both of them.
Yeah.
Exciting pit stop.
Oh, of course. Wow. So he was under the ring, I guess, and then he just crawled in the casket.
Yeah.
Taker, if you're not watching, Taker just came out of the casket, of course, and now is beating up Mankind.
Best
what a clusterfuck ending. Oh, my
Shawn
God.
Michaels.
Wow. Really setting up Buried Alive, because that's when Sid beats Vader, for everyone but Shawn Michaels, who is just sort of the odd man out, but gets to be champion still.
He just gets the afternoon off, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he has to face Goldust in a dark match, of course.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Wow. Well, that is a great match, especially for the era. The ending is terrible and stupid.
People seemed excited, though.
Yeah, I was probably pretty happy to see a lot of, like, at that age, at 10, you want to just see a clusterfuck. Like, it's not the craziest thing in the world, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, cool, there's all my guys, everyone's colorful, it's fun. Vince is saying this will live in the annals of WWE history. That is true.
Awesome truth.
That is true, but he probably not the way he thought of it at the time, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, crowd seems into it.
Yeah.
I have to imagine I was into it. I would love to ask. I'm gonna ask my dad when I talk to him next if he liked this. I'm sure if he has any memory of this. He probably is gonna confuse it with Mania 15.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm sure the pay-per-view he thinks about a little more because of the light. As we should do Mania 15 too. We've never done that, have we?
Can we please do Mania 15?
Can we do there's so many shitty Mania 15, a worse card than Mind Games. Oh, he's doing the Michaels pose. The Michaels pose looks great with the belt over his shoulder too. That's a great, like, iconic pose.
Yeah, it's great. I loved Shawn Michaels in 1996.
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool and like, you know, shitty at the same time.
Well, yeah, we've heard all about it.
We sure have in countless podcasts and books and documentaries, but
too many tell-alls.
But he gets to pose. We get a Hogan must pose champions moment here. For the show is still going on. The match ended quite a long time ago. Yeah. We're just showing Michaels. Michaels isn't just posing for the audience. He's posing for all of us at home. And he's showing his little butt.
Great.
Wow.
Love it.
Okay. Well, you know what? That was a good match. I will make the case. I would say it's slightly overrated, and that it's good, it's fun, it's especially for it's contextual. Like it's really the best when you think of 1996. Like, which is how wrestling works, I guess, all the time. Wrestling is almost always contextual, so that's fair. But like, if you showed someone this, if somehow showed this match now, they'd probably be like, "No, it's pretty good," you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
but it's just like they just didn't do things like this, like we said a million times today. So, Michael's literally just soaking up these fans.
Are you still watching? Because my feed dropped.
Oh yeah, Michael's. This is still going on. Michael's is walking around the ring. He high-fived JR. He shook Vince's hand. Vince said, "Tremendous, unbelievable." He's looking at Perfect. Oh, they said, "Oh, he skips Perfect." Him and Perfect are going at it a little bit. That was like kind of fun. This really seems like someone's going to punch him from the crowd. But obviously that's not going to happen. He's just literally high-fiving. Oh, a girl gave him a kiss.
Okay. We're going to have to live with your commentary of this because my Daily Motion.
No, so they're showing. They must have ended early or something, which is crazy for a 26-minute match because they seem like they're filling time. They're showing replays. It's just weird. But
for the purpose of this podcast, this match is over.
It sure is. And Walt, what did you think of it? Did it meet your expectations of long ago, or?
I was surprised at how long it was, but that could explain my revisionist history because a lot does happen, and they do a lot of interesting, fun spots for a Shawn Michaels 1986 match and a Mick Foley 1986 match. So, yeah. So that was the surprising thing. Still, you're probably right. It's overrated in my head, but
Yeah, but it's good. I wouldn't judge anyone for really enjoying it. There's a lot to like. We've given the shit we've watched, in the past for these. It's delightful. So
yeah, I mean, we have seen a Hulk Hogan monster truck ride match. So I mean, like,
and we've seen a Hulk Hogan Starrcade match that was maybe worse than the monster truck match.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely not that level of.
No, far, far, far above it. If you want to find those episodes we're talking about, other episodes, other watch-alongs, everything we've done, you can see it all in our archives, listen to it all in our archives at awesometruth.libsyn.com. If you want episodes old and new, you can find us and subscribe to us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are delivered, we are there. Walt, great to watch Shawn Michaels, your favorite from 1996. Delightful match. And yeah, it was fun to remember being there, even though I have no memories of it whatsoever.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was the one telling you how it was.
I don't remember a single thing from 1996, but I'm sure I had a blast. Maybe not. Mark Henry.
I hope so.
Mark Henry beat Jerry Lawler in 5 minutes.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening, and remember, the truth will set you free.